Hi friends. So as some of you may know, I'm going to start a long-term travel, and actually that I'm going to start tomorrow morning. So today I was going to film myself, in which I talk to the camera and explain about my travel plan. But then I thought about inviting my friend and let him ask me some questions, and I thought that would be more natural and interesting. So Roku, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And what do you want to know?
So tell me about your plans for the next 2 or 3 years.
So I think it has become almost unoriginal to say that I'm going to travel around the world for years, because many people do it. But that's what I'm going to do, and I'm thinking about up to 2 years for the travel. And geographically, I will be traveling to North America, Central America, South America, and then some of Africa, Europe, some of Middle East, Central Asia, South Asia, and the Oceania. So, and for the first part of the trip, which covers the Americas from north to south, I'm thinking about driving my minivan to travel.
Great. What was the inspiration or motivation for this?
So I know that people say that I'm going to travel to find myself, or I'm going to travel to get the meaning of life, such stuff. And I see the point, but I also think that that's maybe a difficult question to answer. And maybe it's something that you want to keep asking yourself throughout your life. So I don't have that kind of high level motivations for my travel. Mine are more personal and more specific maybe. So the first one is probably my love of spaces, my love of senses that I have in specific places. So I remember this moment when I was looking through a travel blog, and the blogger had some photos of a marketplace in Istanbul of Turkey. And while I was looking at the photos, I realized that, oh, I need to be there. And it was really a strong conviction. And so what I felt was not the thought that I need to be in that marketplace. It was about my life choice at this moment of my life. Maybe I can call this the younger part of my life. So it was a conviction that I want to spend my younger part of my life in different places, rather than staying put in one metropolitan area and think about my career progression. So to give you another example, when I was living in Boston, which was my first city in the United States, I came to the United States 6 years ago. Until to this day, I think about all the routes and small things that I saw as I was going to the classroom from my dormitory. All the random stuff and the wind that I felt as I was walking from the dorm to the building, all these little things remain as very special memory. So when I was looking at the photo of the marketplace in Istanbul, I realized that, oh, I really have attachments to places, or to be more precise, the sensation, the sense of the space while I was in this space. I really like that kind of feeling and want to remember those feelings in the later part of my life. So instead of having these experiences maybe after I retire, what about I more actively go out and have more of the experiences in the younger part of my life, so that I can make my life richer in my own way from earlier possible. So that was the first motivation. And later on, more thoughts came to me and things became more defined about my wanting to have a long-term travel. So I thought that maybe I was brought up in an environment where I could mostly have exposure to people who were similar minded or people who had similar educational background. So at this point in life, in early 30s, I think maybe I can have the final round of serious opportunity through which I can get exposed to many different things. So here, different things encompass maybe 3 different types of things. So different human beings and different places physically, and also different experiences. So I do have my comfort zone, and I do have areas where I feel the most comfort while I'm being there, but I don't want to remain like that for the rest of my life, and I want to see myself, observe myself, what thoughts come to my mind and how I react, how I feel in occasions where I encounter different things, human beings, experience other things. So yes, so that like a great exposure, the last young great exposure period, that's kind of the second motivation that made me convinced that I really want to do this sometime soon.
Wow, that's really nice. What do you hope to gain out of this at the end, or what do you hope to produce out of this experience?
So I think I can give you like a 2-layered answer to that. In the first layer, I would say that I want to make sure that I have the highest level of flexibility and freedom in every aspect in my travel. So what I mean by that is that I don't want to introduce some form of structure or frame through which I organize information. So for example, if I have a set goal or purpose that I expect at this point to come out at the end of this whole thing, I think I'm introducing a form. So I have a desire to kind of avoid that kind of approach. But realistically, things need to be organized and things need to be decided with information. So I understand your point, and so in the second layer, what I want to get out of this, overall, discovering aspects about myself that I didn't know before very well. So for example, when you have a long-term travel with somebody, with your significant other, sometimes there are cases where both of you are not getting along because you have different approaches in resolving the challenge that is in front of you. And usually that's a tough time, but it's a great time for you to realize your nature and the other person's nature, and how you are differently formed and react to the same situation. So although I'm not traveling with somebody, I'll be on my own, I want to keep an eye on myself. I want to be attentive to myself, and I'm really excited about this. I don't expect all the good qualities coming out of myself. No, it's more about maybe negative qualities, aspects that was just lurking somewhere there, but in this metropolitan environment, they don't have really good chances to come out. But in challenging situations, we need to all find a way to reconcile all these ugly realities that are part of me, that are part of the situation. So I'm just trying to give myself a chance to let things come out, and I'll have I'll try to keep an detached eyes, and I'll be responding with my emotion as well. But at the same time, at the end of the day, I will process what happened that day with the best possible objective perspective, and I'm really excited about what I will discover about myself. So,
do you have any concerns or worries, be it for your safety, be it for even things that you will come to realize?
I guess I have only concerns about safety. Other than like physical safety, I don't think I have too much concern at this point. Maybe I will find myself very disappointing, and that will give me like a very hard time. But at this point, I don't expect that to be very realistic. About safety, yes, I do have concern, and I think it's part of traveling. So traveling involves dealing with unknown or unfamiliar situations, and that's the attraction too. But when you are dealing with unknown situations and unknown factors, there's a risk. That's part of it. You cannot just avoid that part. But this whole package, I agree to accept, and that's what I think is traveling. I am traveling. I enjoying the process. So I will do the best I could so that I could not get in the harm's way. But I also understand that I don't have the 100% control here. But I accept it. So yeah, whatever happens, I'll have to deal with it.
Wow.
Thank you, Roku. So friends, I hope you find my stories on the road interesting, and stay tuned.